Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 85 of the Journey's anime titled Rival Showdown. Ash vs. B just dropped, and this is part 1 of their 2-part battle in the Ultra class. How's this battle gonna go? Let's find out. This episode begins with a recap of Ash's ascent to the Ultra class before they get inside to the Stow-on-Side Gym the day prior to the battle. And I think I said this during the Darkest Day arc too, but it seems like the anime has B as the major gym leader, which means that I don't even know if Alistair exists in the anime. Inside the Stow-on-Side Gym, B is training with all of her Pokemon. She has a Machamp, a Pangoro, a Hawlucha, a Hitmontop, a Grapploct, and a Phalanx. She also doesn't know or say Ash's name, which is pretty funny, instead referring to him first as the Riolu trainer, and then later the Lucario trainer, as Ash then shows off his evolved Riolu and all of his other Pokemon before Karina arrives. At first, once Karina arrives, it looks like she might deck B for calling her soft many episodes ago, but turns out she's actually giving her a gift, Kalos Puffs. She was just apologizing for not bringing her her favorite sweets from Kalos. They talk a bit while eating and they find out that Karina and B are indeed friends. Karina is excited for the battle the next day and she says she will cheer both Ash and B on as the two rivals shake hands and wish each other well in the battle. As they're coming out, we see two different things. B has a Dynamax Band and Ash has a Keystone. And after the announcer gives a brief introduction to the crowd about both Ash and B, the battle begins. The battle in this episode is very one-sided. I won't go move for move because you could just watch the episode for that, but there are a few things I want to mention. Similar to the battle against Volkner, there is a lot of switching Pokemon early on, and I like that. It feels like there's some element of strategy taking place, which is important for a high-level battle like this. Ash starts off with his Pikachu, but quickly has to switch out because of Grapploct's Limber ability. Pikachu can't trap it in its Electro Web, and Grapploct's Tentacle just give it too much of a range advantage. He then brings out Lucario, who has faced Grapploct in the past, and gets behind Grapploct after a double team, but Grapploct dodges Aura Sphere with Detect before being called back by B. Instead, she's bringing out Hawlucha here. Ash tries to rush in close against Hawlucha since it isn't Grapploct, but he gets punished for it as he gets hit by a high jump kick, a wing attack, which it does deflect a lot of, and then a sky attack before B recalls the Hawlucha, which kinda reminded me of the Volkner battle because Volkner did something similar. He paralyzed Lucario with Electivire before switching out back to his Rotom. In this case, B brings out her Machamp. As Karina mentions, Machamp is B's ace, and Machamp is also a very difficult challenge for Lucario, particularly because it has 4 arms. It can grab Lucario's arms with 2 of its arms and then attack with the other 2. And I like the fact that even though Machamp should be slower than Lucario, B compensates for this by using Bullet Punch, which has priority. It's one of those things that combines the game and the anime lore, and I really like that. And this section is brutal. Ash cannot get anything going, and Lucario is just getting waffled by 1,000 bullet punches. Ash even tries to use his Keystone early, but Lucario doesn't want to, and rejects the Mega Evolution, and eventually gets out on his own by headbutting Machamp as hard as he can. Ash then apologizes to Lucario for panicking so early. Remember, Bullet Punch is a Steel type move, so even though it's getting hit, it's not very effective. Then, something annoying happens. Leon decides that he wants to butt in for no other reason but to give a soliloquy about how Ash and Lucario have such a bond that as trainer and Pokemon, they're on equal footing. Go away, man. He's just supposed to be a commentator, but he just butts in and interrupts the battle, which just annoys me. But after that, both Ash and B are even more motivated to get to battle Leon, so this episode ends with B using Strength and Ash using Reversal. Overall, I really like this episode. What's interesting to me is how little offense Ash is getting in this matchup. Like, even in his matchup against Volkner, it felt like he got a bit more offense in the beginning before Volkner took over in the middle and then Ash came back at the end. In this episode, it is the complete opposite. Ash has gotten basically 0 offense beside the Electro Web early on. However, this also makes it a more interesting match because it makes you wonder how Ash is even going to be able to beat B. This is one of those things that Ash has got going for him, leading back even to the Volkner fight, is that his Lucario is a tank. He must be training with Ash's Dragonite to get that HP base increase because it is tanky. The only one thing that I find strange in this match is the inclusion of Pikachu. I understand that he's lost to Grapploct last time, so he has some stake in this. However, there are really 2 real rivalry in this matchup. There's one between Grapplock and Lucario, and there's one with Sirfetch'd and Hawlucha because both of them lost their one-on-one. Pikachu just happened to get involved because it beat a Hitmontop before, and it was tired and it lost to Grapplock. Really, it should be Lucario that gets the win against Grapplock to avenge its previous losses. So I feel like they are going to go with that narrative since it is the most obvious one. So if they do, what's Pikachu's role in this battle? Like I said, Sirfetch'd needs to get his revenge for Hawlucha, Lucario should probably get his revenge on Grapplock, but he's fighting Machamp, so is Pikachu's gonna get KO in this battle without doing anything? Or if Pikachu's gonna get the KO on Grapplock, what's the point of the rivalry between Lucario and Grapplock? See what I mean? It'll be interesting to see. Besides that though, this episode is fantastic. There's some really nice cuts of animation that look super dope, especially the punches from Machamp's perspective. And I was also worried that Karina would be lost to time since she served her purpose of helping Ash's Lucario come up and use a Mega Stone, but I'm happy to see that she still showed up in this episode so she isn't completely forgotten about. I also like the dynamic between her and Bee. It's cute. It's a bit of a strange dynamic because Bee likes Karina because of the food she gives her and Karina likes her because she's strong. It's a weird dynamic, but it makes for a fun one, I think. This battle is going to get more interesting, so I can't wait for the next episode. Overall, it's an Ultra Ball episode for me. The next episode is a continuation of this battle. It looks like we'll finally get that Gigantamax vs Mega Evolution battle that people have always wanted. I can't wait. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 85 of the Journeys anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.